Have you ever wondered how one person can change someone's life forever? A single encounter, a simple act of kindness, could it really alter the course of someone's future? Well, today we're going to share a story about a young girl who was struggling to chase her dreams. And it all changed when she met one of the world's most influential innovators, Elon Musk. But what happened next will surprise you. This isn't just about a generous billionaire. It's about the spark that can ignite change in someone's life when they least expect it. In this video, we'll walk you through how a chance encounter with Elon Musk completely transformed a young girl's world. You'll learn how a simple gesture from a visionary entrepreneur led to life-changing opportunities, and how it all started with a dream just like yours. Stick with us till the end because this story isn't just heartwarming, it's inspiring. You'll discover how the power of kindness and innovation can open doors for anyone, no matter where they start. So if you've ever wondered how one moment can change everything, or if you're looking for some motivation to keep chasing your own dreams, you'll want to hear this story. And trust us, you won't want to miss how it ends. Welcome to Craze TV, where we bring you the most inspiring, jaw-dropping stories from around the world. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an incredible story like this one. Let's dive in. Lily lived in a small, quiet town where the streets were narrow and the houses were modest. It wasn't the kind of place where dreams felt easy to chase. People in her town worked hard, but most were stuck in a cycle of financial struggle. Her family was no different. They lived in a tiny weathered houses on the outskirts of town, just a few blocks away from the rusted factories that once employed many of the local men. The house was small, with peeling paint on the outside and a leaky roof that had never been fixed. Yet, despite the wear and tear, it was filled with love. Her parents worked tirelessly, her mother as a seamstress, and her father as a factory worker, to provide for Lily and her younger brother, but the bills always seemed to pile up faster than they could pay them. Lily was a quiet child, content in her own world. While other kids were playing outside, running through the streets and exploring the woods nearby, Lily found her joy in books and her imagination. She was fascinated by the world of technology, particularly space and engineering. It all started when she was just a little girl sitting in the back of a cramped, dusty classroom, listening intently to her teacher's lesson on space exploration. Something about the idea of reaching the stars, building machines that could carry people beyond Earth, sparked a fire inside of her. She couldn't quite put it into words, but she felt a deep connection to the idea of creating things, engineering, designing, and building. The problem was that Lily's dream seemed impossible. She came from a family that could barely afford the essentials, let alone the resources she needed to explore her passion. There were no fancy gadgets, no coding classes, and certainly no high-tech tools waiting for her at home. Her parents didn't understand her fascination with machines and technology. They were busy worrying about the next bill or putting food on the table, and while they loved her, they didn't know how to support her big dreams. For Lily, it was always clear if she wanted to learn more, she would have to do it herself. Each day after school, Lily would rush home, quickly finishing her chores before retreating to her bedroom. It was a small, dimly lit room with an old wooden desk cluttered with textbooks and a few worn-out notebooks. Her most prized possession was an ancient phone, a hand-me-down from her cousin. It had a cracked screen and barely worked half the time, but it was her window to the world outside of her small town. Every evening, as her family gathered in the living room, watching the news or talking about their day, Lily would be on her phone, scrolling through videos and reading articles about space engineering and technology. She wasn't just watching for entertainment, she was soaking up every piece of information she could find. She didn't have access to online courses or fancy learning apps, but there was something magical about the way she could lose herself in videos about rockets launching into space or engineers designing futuristic cars. She watched them over and over, learning about the pioneers who had changed the world, people like Elon Musk, Nikola Tesla, and Steve Jobs. Lily didn't know it yet, But every video she watched, every article she read was planting a seed of possibility in her mind. Her local library, though small, became a second home to her. It wasn't much, just a few dusty shelves filled with old encyclopedias, fiction books, and a small section on science. But Lily would spend hours there after school, flipping through the pages of books about physics, mechanics, and electrical engineering. The library's librarian, Mrs. Harris, had noticed Lily's regular visits and always had a kind word for her. Mrs. Harris had a soft spot for the quiet girl who devoured books like they were her lifeline, and she often made sure to recommend new books or pull down outdated resources for her to explore. It wasn't much, but it was enough to keep Lily's curiosity alive. But as much as Lily loved learning on her own, she couldn't help but feel the weight of her situation. Every time she closed a book or turned off her phone, reality hit her hard. Her family's financial struggles meant there was no chance of attending a prestigious school, no opportunity to attend science camps or engineering classes. The dream of becoming an engineer felt so far out of reach, like a star in the night sky, that she could never quite touch. Every day, the distance between her aspirations and her reality seemed to grow. The worst part was knowing that no matter how hard she tried to learn on her own, there were gaps, things she couldn't understand without formal education or the right resources. She longed for a mentor, someone to guide her, someone who could show her the ropes of engineering, someone who could teach her how to turn her ideas into reality. But Lily understood that people like her, from families like hers, didn't get those opportunities. She would have to make her own way, as difficult as that might be. Still, she didn't give up. Every day after finishing her homework and helping around the house, Lily would go online and watch more videos about technology. She would pause the videos to take notes, rewatch parts she didn't understand, and even try to build simple projects with scraps she found around the house. Her first invention was a small motorized car she made from an old toy car, some wire, and a broken fan. It barely worked, but to Lily it was a small victory. Each little experiment was a glimpse into what she could do if she had the resources. Each project, no matter how imperfect, was a step toward her dream. The world outside her small town felt vast and out of reach, but Lily wasn't discouraged. Instead, she clung to her passion, allowing it to fuel her determination. She couldn't afford the best tools or a fancy education, but she had something far more valuable: curiosity, grit, and an unshakable belief that if she kept learning, she could achieve anything. Every time she faced a setback, whether it was her family's financial struggles or the limitations of her old phone, Lily would remind herself that the world was full of possibilities. If she could learn from the resources available to her, there was no telling how far she could go. In her heart, Lily knew that one day her hard work and perseverance would pay off. She didn't know how or when, but she believed that the dream she held so tightly in her heart would someday become her reality. All she had to do was keep going, keep learning, and never stop believing that anything was possible. One day, as Lily sat in her usual spot in the back of the classroom, her teacher announced something that immediately grabbed her attention. It was a contest in innovation and technology competition, open to all students in the school. The prize, a scholarship to an exclusive tech camp, all expenses paid. It was an opportunity that seemed almost too good to be true, a chance to attend a camp where she could learn from the best in the field of technology. The catch: only one student could win, and with so many talented classmates, Lily knew her chances were slim. The teacher's words floated in and out of Lily's thoughts. She had always felt like an outsider, an observer of technology, rather than a participant. She wasn't like the other students who had access to fancy gadgets or expert mentorship. But something about this contest sparked a glimmer of hope in her. Despite knowing how hard it would be, she couldn't shake the idea that this could be her chance. This might be her only shot at stepping into the world she dreamed of for so long, the world of engineering and innovation. That night, as Lily sat at her desk, she couldn't stop thinking about the contest. She thought of all the things she could build, the models she could create, But one idea kept coming back to her: a solar-powered car. She had watched countless videos about sustainable energy and technology, including some of her favorite ones by Elon Musk, who had always inspired her with his work in renewable energy and space exploration. One video had featured a solar-powered car, a simple yet elegant design that seemed to harness the power of the sun itself. It was one of the most exciting things Lily had ever seen, and it felt like the perfect project to enter into the contest. The next day, with determination in her heart, Lily began sketching out her design. She didn't have access to expensive equipment or a fancy lab, but she had her imagination and a few basic tools. She spent hours that evening researching solar power, reading everything she could find online about how solar panels worked and how they could be applied to small vehicles. With every new piece of information, Lily felt a surge of excitement. The project might be simple compared to the high-tech creations her classmates could afford, but to her it was a reflection of everything she had learned on her own. The following weeks were a blur of late nights and hard work. Lily started collecting the materials she needed, scavenging for items that might work: old wires, a small motor from a broken toy car, and a few plastic pieces she could repurpose. She even found some old solar panels online at a bargain price. It wasn't much, but it was enough to make her vision come to life. Despite the growing pressure, Lily poured her heart into the project. She worked tirelessly, her hands shaking with excitement as she connected the motor to the solar panel, carefully wiring the circuits together. There were many nights when she hit roadblocks. Sometimes the motor wouldn't start or the solar panel wouldn't charge properly. But every time she encountered a problem, Lily refused to give up. She would take a step back, analyze what went wrong, and find a solution. It wasn't easy, and there were moments when she felt overwhelmed, but she was determined to see it through. As the contest deadline approached, Lily's small solar-powered car slowly started to take shape. It wasn't a sleek, futuristic vehicle like the ones in the videos she had watched, but it was functional, and to her, that was everything. The car had small wheels, a simple frame, and the solar panel sat on top, catching the light just right. Lily had even managed to get it to move slowly, but surely when it was exposed to sunlight. It was her first true creation, and despite its flaws, it felt like a masterpiece to her. The day of the contest arrived, and Lily stood nervously in front of the other students, her heart racing. She watched as the other contestants presented their projects, most of them with polished, professional-looking models, robots, drones, and advanced tech gadgets that seemed light years ahead of her simple car. Her hands clenched around the edges of her project as she waited for her turn. She had never felt more out of place, yet something inside her kept pushing her forward. She wasn't going to let fear stop her from sharing her hard work. When it was her turn, Lily carefully placed her solar-powered car on the table. It wasn't flashy or extravagant, but she had put everything she had into it. As the judges observed her project, Lily explained how she had built it from scratch, how she had researched solar energy and engineering principles in her free time, and how she had faced countless challenges along the way. She didn't know if the judges would be impressed with her model, but she was proud of what she had accomplished, no matter the outcome. After the presentations were over, the judges took their time deliberating. Lily's heart pounded in her chest as she anxiously awaited their decision. She tried not to get her hopes up. After all, she was up against students who had access to better resources, more experience, and more advanced knowledge. She wasn't a tech prodigy. She was just a girl with a dream and a lot of determination. Still, she couldn't help but hope just a little that this might be her moment. As the judges announced the winner, Lily's stomach twisted into knots. The name that was called wasn't hers. A part of her had known it might not be, but it still stung. She forced a smile, congratulating the winner, and gathered her things to leave. She had done her best, and that was enough. But as she was about to walk out of the room, one of the judges, a man who had been quietly observing her projects, stopped her. "Lily Wright," he said with a warm smile, "I just wanted to tell you your project really impressed us." We didn't just see a solar-powered car. We saw the passion, the dedication, and the creativity behind it. And we think you have a lot of potential. Lily blinked in surprise, her heart leaping in her chest. Thank you, she stammered, unsure of what to say. We'd like to offer you something, the judge continued. You may not have won the main prize, but we want to sponsor you for a scholarship to a tech camp. You've shown us that you're serious about pursuing technology, and we believe you can go far. For a moment, Lily couldn't believe her ears. A scholarship to a tech camp. It was everything she had dreamed of, a chance to learn, to grow, and to be surrounded by people who shared her passion. She felt a rush of excitement, the realization sinking in that her hard work had paid off in a way she never expected. As she left the contest that day, Lily couldn't stop smiling. It wasn't the first place prize she had hoped for, but it was something far better. It was an opportunity, a chance to take her dreams to the next level. As Lily sat in the audience, listening to the judges announce the results of the contest, she was already processing everything that had happened. She had put so much heart into her solar-powered car, and although she hadn't won, she was proud of the journey she had taken. But then something truly unexpected happened. The head judge cleared his throat and smiled, looking at the crowd with a twinkle in his eye. Before we conclude, he began, his voice full of excitement, we have one more surprise for our top 3 contestants. Lily's heart skipped a beat. She wasn't sure what could top the scholarship offer, but she leaned in, eager to hear more. To celebrate your incredible work and innovation, we're thrilled to announce that Elon Musk himself will be visiting the top 3 contestants in person to award them their prize. The words hung in the air for a moment, as if the world had slowed down. Lily could hardly process what she had just heard. Elon Musk, the man who had inspired her to dream big, who had shaped her view of the world through his work with SpaceX, Tesla, and his dedication to making a difference in the future of technology. He was coming to see her, to see the small solar-powered car that she had built with her own hands. Her mind raced. Was this really happening? She looked around at the other students, who were just as stunned. Some were whispering to each other in disbelief, while others were still processing the announcement. But Lily couldn't focus on anyone else. All she could think about was Elon Musk. He wasn't just a celebrity to her. He was a symbol of possibility, a living testament to what passion and persistence could achieve. To meet him in person felt surreal. Her heart pounded in her chest as she tried to calm herself. She had read every interview, watched every video, and followed his ventures for years. She had admired how he had turned his seemingly impossible ideas into reality. And now here she was in a small town, having created something that caught the attention of the people who believed in innovation, just like he did. Lily could hardly contain her excitement as the reality of the situation started to settle in. Meeting Elon Musk was more than just a chance to receive a prize. It was an opportunity to get a glimpse of the man who had shaped the future of technology. The person who, against all odds, had built rockets to explore space, electric cars to revolutionize the automobile industry, and was on a mission to change the world. He was her hero. The idea that she would stand in front of him, share her projects with him, and hear his thoughts made her feel like she was living in a dream. But there was also a wave of nervousness that swept over her. What would she say? How could she possibly impress him? She had spent so many hours building her solar-powered car, but it was far from perfect. Her project wasn't anything like the cutting-edge designs she had seen from major companies or the top engineers in the world. It was just a humble creation built with limited resources and a whole lot of determination. Would he think it was good enough? Would he see the passion behind it? As Lily left the contest that day, her mind swirled with thoughts and emotions. She kept replaying the announcement over and over, almost unable to believe that the next step in her journey would involve a meeting with the very person who had inspired her to dream bigger than she ever thought possible. She couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and gratitude. This was a moment she had never imagined in her wildest dreams. The days leading up to Elon Musk's visit were a blur. She could hardly concentrate on anything else. She tried to prepare herself, wondering what kind of questions she might ask, what insights he might share. She thought about the time she had spent watching his interviews, the way he spoke about the importance of failure and learning, of staying true to one's vision, and of pushing the limits of what's possible. The thought of being able to speak with him, to hear his perspective firsthand, made her nervous and excited all at once. Then finally the day arrived. The event was set to take place in the school's gymnasium, transformed into a makeshift stage for the occasion. The room was buzzing with energy as students, teachers, and parents gathered, all eager to meet Elon Musk. The top three contestants were called to the front, and Lily was in awe of how everything had come together. She had never imagined being part of something so grand, but here she was standing among the winners, preparing to meet her idol. When Elon Musk walked into the room, the crowd went silent. His presence was magnetic, and even though Lily had seen him in countless interviews and documentaries, seeing him in person was different. He looked like someone who could walk into a room and instantly command the attention of everyone around him, but there was also something down to earth about him, something that made it feel like he was just another person trying to make the world a better place, just like she was. As he made his way to the front, he smiled and greeted the students, his eyes gleaming with enthusiasm. He shook their hands and exchanged a few words with each one before turning to Lily. For a moment, time seemed to freeze as they made eye contact. It was as if everything else had disappeared. "You're the one with the solar-powered car, right?" Elon asked, his voice calm, but with a hint of genuine curiosity. Lily nodded, her hands trembling slightly, but she managed to speak. "Yes, I built it myself. It's not perfect, but I tried to make it work with whatever I had," she said, her voice wavering but steady. Elon smiled warmly, and to her surprise, he seemed genuinely interested. "That's the spirit," he said. "The most important thing is starting somewhere, learning along the way, and not being afraid to try." "You've done exactly that." Lily's heart soared. She could hardly believe it. The man she had looked up to for years was standing in front of her, acknowledging her efforts and encouraging her. It was more than she could have ever hoped for. As the event continued and Elon awarded the prizes to the top contestants, Lily felt as though she had already won. The rest of the visit was a blur of excitement and inspiration. Elon spoke about the importance of innovation, perseverance, and following one's passions. His words resonated deeply with Lily, reinforcing everything she had believed in and more. By the end of the day, Lily felt like a new chapter of her journey had begun. When Elon Musk finally approached Lily, she could hardly believe it. Her heart pounded in her chest as he walked toward her, his expression warm but intense, as if he were genuinely interested in her story. She had watched countless interviews with him, admired his work from afar, but standing face to face with him now, she could barely contain her emotions. Elon stopped in front of her and extended his hand. "So you're the one with the solar-powered car," he said, his voice calm but full of curiosity. Lily blinked, momentarily stunned, before shaking his hand. She could feel the weight of the moment, the significance of what was happening, and the nerves inside her body threatened to take over. "Yes, that's me," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "I built it myself. I just wanted to make something that could help people, and I thought solar power was a good way to start. I know it's not perfect, but it's a step in the right direction." Elon nodded thoughtfully, examining the small solar-powered car in front of him. "I can see that," he said, and Lily's heart lifted. "Tell me, how did you get started? What made you want to build something like this?" Lily felt the weight of his question. She had spent so many years thinking about her dreams and what she wanted to do, but now with Elon Musk standing in front of her, she had to put it into words. She took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. "Well, I've always been fascinated by technology," she began, her voice growing a little steadier. "I used to watch videos about space, electric cars, and solar energy on my old phone. I didn't have a lot of resources, but I read everything I could and tried to learn from what I could find. You were a big inspiration to me, Mr. Musk. I saw how you were using technology to solve big problems to make the world a better place, and that really motivated me." Elon listened intently, his eyes never leaving hers. There was something about the way he was looking at her that made her feel like her words mattered. She had never imagined that someone like him would care about what she had to say, let alone be so invested in her story. "I've always wanted to be an engineer," Lily continued. "But my family can't afford to send me to a good school, and I don't have the money for the tools or materials I need to build bigger projects. I didn't know how to get started, but when I saw this contest, I thought it was my chance. Even if I didn't win, at least I'd have something to show for all the things I've learned on my own." Elon's gaze softened as he listened to Lily. He could hear the passion in her voice, the raw determination that echoed his own early days in the tech world. It was clear to him that she had something special, an unshakable drive to make an impact despite the obstacles in her way. "I'm really impressed by you, Lily," Elon said after a moment, his voice sincere. "You've got creativity and determination, and that's exactly what the world needs. There's a lot of potential in you." Lily felt a rush of pride at his words, but also a sense of disbelief. She had always admired Elon Musk for his boldness and vision, but to hear him speak so highly of her made her feel like she was stepping into a new world. She had dreamed of a moment like this, but never thought it would actually happen. "I'm just trying to do what I can with what I have," she said shyly. "But I don't have the resources to take my projects further. Sometimes I feel like my dreams are too big for my situation, but I can't stop trying." Elon smiled a knowing smile that seemed to say he understood exactly how she felt. "I know that feeling all too well," he replied. "When I started, I had nothing but ideas and a lot of belief in them. And I was lucky enough to find people who believed in me. That's what it's all about, finding the right people, the right resources, and then going after your dreams, no matter how impossible they might seem." Lily's eyes widened. She had always admired Elon's ability to take risks and pursue what others thought were impossible goals. To hear him share that personal experience with her was nothing short of inspiring. "You know, Lily," Elon continued, "I believe in you. I see a lot of promise in what you've created, and I want to make sure you have everything you need to follow your dreams. You've got a bright future ahead of you." Lily felt as though she were dreaming. Her mind raced to catch up with what was happening. Elon Musk was telling her that he believed in her, that she had potential. But what did he mean by a bright future? Was he offering her something more? She dared not ask, but her heart was pounding with hope. "I want to make sure you have the resources to take your ideas further," Elon said, sensing her confusion. "I'm offering to fund your education, to help you get the tools, the mentorship, and the opportunities you need to really explore your potential. This isn't just about a solar-powered car. It's about helping you build a foundation for the future." Lily's breath caught in her throat. She had dreamed of having anyone help her pursue her passion. But this was more than she could have ever imagined. Elon Musk was offering to support her, to make sure she had what she needed to succeed. It felt surreal, like a moment out of a movie, but it was real. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible, as she tried to absorb everything he had just said. "I don't know what to say." Elon smiled, giving her an encouraging nod. "You don't need to say anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. Follow your heart, keep building, and the rest will come." In that moment, Lily felt as though a door had been opened for her, a door to a world of possibilities she had only ever dreamed about. And with Elon's support, she felt more certain than ever that her dreams were within reach. After their heartfelt conversation, Elon Musk's support for Lily went far beyond what she could have ever imagined. He didn't just stop at offering a scholarship to the tech camp. He was determined to ensure that she had the resources and experiences she needed to truly grow. A few days after their meeting, Lily received an email from Elon's team. Her hands trembled as she opened it. The subject line read, "An exciting opportunity awaits you." The message detailed the incredible next steps Elon had arranged. Not only was she going to attend a prestigious tech camp, but Elon had also personally arranged for her to visit Tesla's headquarters. The email explained that Lily would have the chance to meet with engineers working on some of the most advanced projects in the world, from electric vehicles to sustainable energy solutions. They would give her an inside look at how innovation happens at the highest level, showing her firsthand how ideas become reality. Lily couldn't believe her eyes. The opportunity to walk through the doors of Tesla, the company that she had admired for years, was more than just a dream come true. It was a chance to learn from the very best, to see up close how the technology she had always read about was developed and put into action. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness, wondering if she was ready for such a monumental experience. But Elon's belief in her kept her grounded, reminding her that this was the opportunity of a lifetime. As she processed the email, she received another notification, this time directly from Elon's team. A large sum of money had been transferred to her account, enough to cover a new laptop, books, and the tools she needed to further her studies. He had made sure that Lily would have everything she needed to thrive academically and pursue her passion for technology without the financial stress that had always weighed on her. Lily stared at the message, her eyes wide with disbelief. She had always dreamed of having access to a high-quality laptop, the kind that could run complex programs and help her build her ideas. But that dream had always seemed out of reach, buried beneath the harsh realities of her family's financial situation. Now that burden was lifted, she could focus entirely on her studies, learning and creating with the right tools in her hands. She looked at the list of books and materials Elon had personally selected for her, and the weight of it all began to sink in. Not only was she being given the opportunity to attend a top tech camp and learn from the best engineers, but she also had the resources to keep learning and building on her own, to turn her ideas into something real. This was more than just an opportunity, it too was a full-on support system for her future. But Elon's generosity didn't stop there. A week later, Lily was contacted again, this time to confirm her upcoming visit to Tesla. She was thrilled but nervous too. She had read about Tesla's cutting-edge innovations and watched countless documentaries on the company's journey, but meeting the engineers in person, learning directly from them, this was beyond anything she had ever dreamed. The email said she would be given a private tour of Tesla's main facilities, where she would be able to see prototypes, learn about the latest advancements in electric vehicles, and speak directly with engineers who were leading the charge in sustainable technology. It was more than she could have ever hoped for. Lily's mind raced with possibilities. The engineers at Tesla were working on some of the most advanced technologies in the world, and now she had the chance to speak with them, ask questions, and get hands-on experience with the very systems she had only seen on her computer screen. She had always imagined being a part of something like that, being surrounded by innovators, thinkers, and dreamers who were pushing the boundaries of what technology could do for humanity. And now, thanks to Elon Musk's belief in her, that dream was becoming a reality. The days leading up to her visit to Tesla were a blur of preparation. She couldn't stop thinking about all the things she wanted to learn, the questions she wanted to ask. Would she be able to keep up with the engineers? Would they take her seriously? She had worked so hard to get to this point, but she still wondered if she truly belonged in a world so far beyond what she had known. But every time she felt doubt creeping in, she reminded herself of the words Elon had said to her, "You have a bright future ahead of you." His faith in her was unwavering, and it fueled her confidence, making her feel ready for whatever came next. Finally, the day arrived. Lily found herself standing at the gates of Tesla's headquarters, the heart of innovation she had always admired from afar. As she stepped inside, she was greeted by a team of engineers who guided her through the sprawling campus. The sheer scale of the place took her breath away. Every building, every room filled with the buzz of innovation, ideas being born and brought to life. She visited the workshops where prototypes were being developed, saw the latest electric cars that were pushing the limits of efficiency and design, and watched as teams worked tirelessly to develop solutions for a cleaner, more sustainable future. Each engineer she spoke to shared insights into their work, explaining the challenges they faced, the breakthroughs they had made, and the failures that had taught them the most valuable lessons. It was an experience she would never forget, one that gave her the confidence to believe that she too could be part of this world of innovation, progress, and limitless possibility. As Lily left Tesla that day, her mind was overflowing with new ideas and inspiration. She had seen the future of technology up close, and now she was more determined than ever to be part of it. Thanks to Elon Musk's generosity and vision, she was no longer just a young girl with a dream. She was someone who had the tools, the knowledge, and the support to turn that dream into reality. The road ahead was still long, but now with Elon's help, Lily was ready to take the first steps toward making her mark on the world. With Elon Musk's unwavering support, Lily's life started to change in ways she could have never imagined. She felt the weight of his belief in her every day, and it propelled her forward. She was no longer the shy and sure girl who only dreamed of engineering. She was now someone who believed in her abilities, someone who had the resources to push her limits and grow. Her confidence blossomed, and every step forward felt like a victory. She began to see herself not just as a student, but as someone who could truly make a difference. Her time at the tech camp was nothing short of transformative. It wasn't just about the technical skills she gained, it was about the environment of innovation that surrounded her. She was surrounded by like-minded people who shared her passion for technology, and each conversation, each workshop added to her growing understanding of the field. She learned about everything from the inner workings of artificial intelligence to the future of renewable energy. The camp was a place where her dreams weren't just encouraged, they were nurtured, honed, and challenged. The instructors at the camp were amazed at her dedication and drive. Many of them took her under their wing, giving her personalized mentorship and guiding her through more advanced concepts. Every night, Lily worked on her projects using the knowledge she had gained that day. She felt like she was living in the future, as if the world of technology she had only read about was now unfolding right before her eyes. Her passion deepened with every lesson, and she knew she was on the right path. But it wasn't just the technical training that changed her, it was the mindset Elon had instilled in her. If you can dream it, you can build it, he had told her. Those words echoed in her mind every time she faced a challenge. They were a constant reminder that no dream was too big, no problem insurmountable. Each time she encountered an obstacle, whether it was a coding error, a complex design flaw, or a moment of self-doubt, she recalled those words and pushed through. With each success, no matter how small, her confidence grew. After finishing the tech camp, Lily returned to her small town, but she wasn't the same person who had left. Her mind was filled with possibilities, and her skills had improved exponentially. She applied for internships and entry-level jobs at tech companies, determined to continue learning and growing. Her experience at the tech camp, combined with her passion for innovation, helped her stand out. Soon she received an offer from a promising tech startup. It wasn't the largest company, but it was full of energetic, passionate people who were working on groundbreaking ideas. It was the perfect place for her to learn, contribute, and start building the future she had always dreamed of. Her first days at the startup were filled with excitement and nervousness. She was finally in the thick of it, working on projects that could change the world. But she quickly realized that the skills she had developed at the camp, the lessons learned from Elon's mentorship, were more than enough to carry her through. She was able to bring fresh ideas to the table, pushing the team to think outside the box and consider new possibilities. Slowly but surely, Lily became an integral part of the company, earning the respect of her colleagues and supervisors. As she worked on innovative projects, everything from energy-efficient devices to AI-driven applications, Lily found herself thinking back to that pivotal moment when she met Elon. His encouragement had been the spark that ignited her journey, and now she was living the life she had once only dreamed of. She could hear his voice in her head every time she faced a difficult problem. If you can dream it, you can build it. One evening after a long day at work, Lily sat at her desk, reflecting on how far she had come. She remembered the days when she could barely afford to buy books, when her dreams of becoming an engineer felt so distant and unreachable. But now she was a part of something much bigger. She was contributing to projects that could make a real difference in the world. She thought of the countless people who had helped her along the way, from her teachers to the engineers at Tesla, and of course Elon, who had given her the chance to turn her dreams into reality. As the years went by, Lily continued to grow in her career. She took on leadership roles within the startup, helping to guide teams and develop cutting-edge technology. Her journey wasn't without its challenges, but each time she faced a setback, she remembered the words that had shaped her path. If you can dream it, you can build it. And with that mindset, there was no obstacle too great for her to overcome. She also became a mentor to younger aspiring engineers, just as Elon had been to her. She shared her story with them, emphasizing the importance of persistence, creativity, and the belief that anything was possible if you were willing to put in the work. Her success wasn't just about her skills, it was about the people who had supported her along the way, and the unwavering belief that no matter where you started, you could always build the future you dreamed of. Lily's journey was a testament to the power of mentorship, belief, and hard work. And as she stood at the forefront of innovation, she knew that she was only just getting started. The future was hers to build. As we come to the end of Lily's incredible journey, it's clear that one act of kindness, one moment of belief, can change the course of someone's life forever. Elon Musk didn't just offer financial support, he gave Lily the confidence and opportunities she needed to pursue her dreams. And in doing so, he sparked a ripple effect, inspiring not just Lily but countless others to believe in themselves and their potential to innovate. We all have the ability to make a difference in someone's life, just like Elon did for Lily. Whether it's a word of encouragement, offering a helping hand, or simply believing in someone's potential, every small act of kindness has the power to change the world. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel Craze TV for more uplifting stories and powerful moments. Remember, the future is in your hands. Let's make it count.